pronounce you husband and wife. Edgar, you may kiss the bride. You don't want to kiss him?
Peter asked after Alessandra looked his way, almost as if she was against kissing her own husband.
What sort of marriage is this? Are the two of you not taking this seriously?
I am shy, Alessandra said, in order to make it less suspicious that she was hesitant to kiss Edgar. She would need to remove her veil in order to kiss Edgar.
Oh.
Peter's mouth fell open. Normally, those who came to get married at night weren't this innocent. Not to forget, the devil was literally standing in front of Alessandra. Peter started to feel like he did something wrong by marrying an angel to the devil.
I can turn around if you want me to.
No need to. We are finished here. Thank you for your services, Peter,
said Edgar.
Edgar, I don't know how many weddings you have attended, but there is a way to do things.
Peter could not believe how out of order Edgar's wedding was. To think the town spoke so highly of what Edgar's wedding would be like. If the town could see this wedding now, wire rings and no witnesses.
Edgar has no right to call me a scammer anymore,
he thought.
Are you trying to insinuate there is something wrong with our wedding, Peter?
Obviously. First of all, you show the lady the engagement ring before the day of the wedding. Second, you get the 2 wedding rings, guests, family, friends, and whoever else in your life to attend the wedding. I'm sure your loved ones will be heartbroken to know you have gotten married like this. Don't tell anyone I am the one who wed you.
Peter did not want his name attached to Edgar's weird wedding.
It will be on the paper, and I am going to tell Alfred as soon as I return home.
Edgar innocently smiled. He had no reason to hide who wed him to Alessandra.
I will let everyone know that my dear friend did it.
Consider it an honor, Peter.
Peter sighed, rubbing his temple as he partially blamed himself. He should have known telling Edgar to do something would make the man do the opposite.
Hurry up and leave. Go enjoy your married life, but remember, I will keep my eyes on the 2 of you no matter where you are.
Alessandra took a step closer to Edgar.
Oh, no.
Peter realized his mistake.
I didn't mean it like that. I wouldn't be watching you. Ugh.
His voice trailed off when Alessandra started laughing.
I'm only teasing you.
Alessandra chuckled. She found Peter to be a funny man.
You two deserve each other,
Peter concluded after seeing Alessandra enjoy teasing him, just like her new husband did.
I will send the papers tomorrow morning. You don't have to come visit me, Edgar.
My wife seems to like you. I will be sure to come again.
No!
Peter yelled, not wanting Edgar to return. He could not deal with the anxiety Edgar gave him with each visit.
You are now a married man. You must spend time with your wife and, most importantly, stay away from the church.
What if I want to confess my sins?
Edgar folded his arms, wanting to see how Peter would counterattack this.
Then come the 2nd and 4th days in the week.
Peter smiled as he gave Edgar the days he would not be in the church. Someone else would have to share the burden of dealing with Edgar.
So don't come on the 2nd and 4th days. Do you take me for a fool, Peter? You should be thankful you still have your hands after trying to scam me. Do not avoid me, Peter.
said Edgar.
I couldn't, even if I wanted to. You are like a hound sniffing out wherever I am. I bet you came here tonight at this time because you knew I was here.
Peter pointed his finger accusingly at Edgar. Edgar slapped the finger away and said,
I was certain priests don't partake in bets. Silly me.
You know I wasn't literally making a bet. Get out before I pass out. The church is closed.
Peter no longer had the strength to keep the church open all night. Edgar was like a night creature, draining away all of his energy.
It was nice to meet you, Peter. Hopefully I can come to see you again.
Alisandre had a lot to get off her chest, and since the priests were bound not to repeat what they heard, she wanted to come to the church and speak with Peter.
You have things to confess? Come any time you want and ask for me.
Peter wanted to know more about Alessandra, the rumored cursed girl. He wanted to understand why the town came to this conclusion and what Alisandre was truly like. Peter did not judge Alessandra, as he was in no position to do so. Before his life as a priest, he did many things to earn money, which the town would frown upon.
I will come on the 2nd and 4th days, just like you told Edgar. Good night.
Alessandra waved goodbye. She was awfully tired and in need of something to eat before her stomach would make its presence known.
Don't come those days. Good night, Alessandra.
Peter waved goodbye.
That's right. Take that monster with you,
he muttered when they were away from him.
I can still hear you, Peter,
Edgar said as he walked out the church doors with Alessandra.
You are like the cat that enjoys toying with a mouse before it's eaten.
Alessandra found this to be the best way to describe Edgar's relationship with Peter. The more Peter sweated, the more Edgar would stress him out.
As I recall, my dear wife, you were also teasing Peter back there. Shall I also refer to you as a cat? Let me.
He offered her a hand to safely get inside of the carriage.
I wouldn't mind, as I like cats. I would be a regular cat, while you are a tiger.
Alisandre pictured Edgar as the large cat.
Should I make arrangements to change my symbol from a falcon to a tiger?
You cannot just change something that was already there for generations,
Alisandre replied.
I can, and I did. Have you already forgotten that I got you a new ring instead of the one passed down in my family for generations? Whatever I want, I will make sure to get it. That is the type of man your husband is. I expect my mother to visit as soon as the news reaches her.
Edgar could already feel the headaches from his mother's dramatic ways.
I cannot believe we are married.
Alisandre twisted the wire ring around her finger. Edgar sat with one leg placed over the other, watching Alessandra play with the ring he made in the spur of the moment. She wasn't one for material things. There weren't too many people in the world like her. Edgar began to think about what would be a good wedding gift for her. What did you give to someone who seemed to want nothing but to escape her family?
If there is anything you need, don't hesitate to ask me for it.
He could only observe and listen to what she wanted for now.
I will,
Alisandre replied, but as her mouth moved, a yawn escaped.
I'm sorry.
The night has been so eventful, so I'm drained.
It will be quite some time before we arrive at my estate. Lie in the seat to take a nap, or perhaps I can...
The seat is enough, thank you.
Alisandre dropped sideways to lie in the seat.
How are we going to sleep in the same bed when you can't even fall asleep on me in the carriage? Will you make me sleep on the floor?
This was something Edgar would never do.
I apologize if I scare you, Alessandra.
Edgar's words poked at her conscience.
It's not that. I don't want you to hear my stomach grumbling.
Edgar bit his lip to refrain from laughing.
I have long heard your stomach. At first, I thought it was the sky warning us of rain.
What?
Alessandre's eyes widened in shock.
I am only teasing you, Alessandra. Sleep well. I will make sure you don't fall.
Edgar looked out the window to hide a small smile forming on his lips. The Baron had no idea what an interesting daughter he had hidden away. If the Baron had been smart, he could have saved Alessandra's reputation from all the rumors and lies. If she had the same attention as Kate, Alisandre would never have needed to form a contract marriage with anyone. Alessandra stood out among other girls from her personality alone, and though she wore a mask, the half of her face that was not covered showed her beauty. Edgar wondered who was the culprit behind what Alessandra was hiding. There were two people on his mind, but everyone in the Barrett household was on his list, from the stable boy up to the Baroness.
Young master, did you take a detour?
Alfred asked while he approached Edgar's carriage as it parked right in front of the stairs leading to the main door.
Is that Alessandra Barrett? Why is she here?
Alfred was not informed of Alessandra coming to stay tonight. They were supposed to leave early in the morning with an extra carriage to collect her things. But Edgar was right here, carrying Alessandra in his arms.
She is hardly wearing anything to protect her from the night air.
Alfred was worried she might catch a cold.
And where is your coat, Edgar?
She is now Alessandra Collins. I hope our bedroom has been prepared for her to use tonight,
Edgar said as he walked past a stunned Alfred.
Did you just say she is Alessandra Collins? Do not tell me the two of you ran off and got married at the church. I raised you to be better than that, Edgar. Tell me I am wrong.
Alfred knew Edgar to be impulsive, but even Edgar should know a proper ceremony was needed.
We got married at the church a moment ago, as the moment called for it to happen. Alfred, do you mind closing the door behind us and keeping your voice down to not wake her? Prepare something for her to eat, and have the maids run a warm bath. She cannot go to sleep on an empty stomach.
You heard him. Prepare a warm bath and food for the lady.
Alfred shooed a maid standing at the door to do as Edgar requested. Meanwhile, he wanted to get to the bottom of Edgar's flash marriage.
What situation called for you to get married on such short notice? She is not pregnant, is she?
Alfred warned Edgar countless times to be careful when he slept with anyone. One night of bliss would lead to disaster in a couple of weeks.
Do not be so dramatic, Alfred. How could she be pregnant already? We got married because I killed her father.
You did what?
Alfred couldn't stop himself from yelling. He quickly covered his mouth with his hands to refrain from waking up Alessandra. Shh. Edgar stopped walking as Alessandra stirred in his arms from the noise. She nuzzled her head into his chest, trying to get more comfortable. If she were to wake up right now, she would probably die from embarrassment. Edgar wanted to see it happen.
Alessandra,
he called to her, but after no response, he continued walking towards their bedroom.
Lower your voice, Alfred. I will explain it to you when our guests arrive shortly.
Edgar knew it wouldn't be long until the town guards came knocking on his door, unless the Baroness would hide the truth and try to get money from him.
What guest? Fine.
Alfred gave up. He could only wait to hear why there was a marriage and a death on the same night. Alfred went back to the door to wait on the guest Edgar was referring to. Perhaps Edgar expected Alessandre's family to visit when they realized what happened, or the fact that they would want to avenge the late Baron. Alfred knew better than anyone that Edgar would never shed blood without a valid reason, and he wasn't sad to see the Baron go. From what he witnessed the day Edgar proposed to Alisandre, Desmond was not a good man.
I lived to see the day Edgar got married.
Alfred smiled, happy that Edgar had someone by his side, even if a contract bound them. A little piece of paper wouldn't be enough to stop feelings from getting involved.
I'll have to meddle if I want it to be real.
He started to plot. Meanwhile, Edgar carried Alisandre upstairs towards the bedroom they would soon share.
Alessandra, are you really going to make me carry you all the way when you are awake? How cruel of you.
Edgar stopped walking once he reached the second floor. He knew she was awake a little while after Alfred had yelled, but she acted like she wasn't. You can put me down now. Alisandre opened her eyes now that she was caught. She was woken up by someone yelling, and when she realized she was being carried, she knew it had to be Edgar. The plan was to pretend to sleep until he laid her on the bed.
No.
Edgar carried on, walking with her in his arms. Then why did you make it known I was awake? You could have silently carried me to the bedroom.
And let you get out of being embarrassed? Never.
Edgar grinned. He could not let this opportunity to tease her fly by. From her view in his arms, Alisandre stuck by what she said about Edgar being a cat. He could not miss the opportunity to toy with someone. You are cruel, Edgar, she said.
That's not a good way to start our wedding night, Alessandra. Your husband was so kind to walk you from the carriage straight to the bedroom. You should be thankful I trained so much.
Alisandre wondered if she would ever get used to Edgar toying with her. He made the contract condition for them to be together forever, as he only wanted to be married once. Forever was such a long time. How was she going to survive him?
Alfred said the room has been prepared. There aren't any clothes for you, considering your belongings aren't here, and I did not know what your size is to order any clothing. You can wear one of my shirts to sleep in, and I will have a maid sort out your dress in the morning.
Edgar placed her down right in front of the bedroom door. Aren't you coming in? This was your bedroom, right? Alisandre didn't see why he stopped right there instead of going in with her. She was not uncomfortable with sharing a room with Edgar. She was well aware of what they had agreed upon.
I will soon have a visitor regarding your father's death. Tonight, I will let you settle in and get accustomed to your new environment. However, if you think you will miss my wonderful presence,
good night, Alisandre said, then opened the door. She was not going to pump up Edgar's already large ego. Wait, shouldn't I be there when you have to speak about what happened with my father?
You will be needed in the morning. Sleep well, he replied.
Edgar waited for her to go inside and close the door. She was not needed in the morning, as he would take care of this problem entirely tonight. He did not want to be hearing about Desmond Barrett ever again.
Young master, the captain of the town guards is here to have a word with you,
Alfred called from the stairs. Edgar rested his hands in his pockets and went downstairs to deal with his unwanted guests. The only time the town guards seemed to be on time was when they had to come to his home to question him.
To what do I owe this unpleasant visit?
Edgar asked the moment he arrived on the ground floor.
Oliver,
He greeted the captain.
Edgar!
Oliver scowled at the sight of the man who made his job harder.
Duke Collins, why is it that I am hearing you killed the Baron, Desmond Barrett? You cannot kill a Baron and get away with it. The king entrusted me with the task of removing all vermin in the kingdom. I was merely doing my job, and it didn't help that the Baron was manhandling my wife. As a newly engaged man, I am certain you understand the rage I would have felt. That is, unless you don't like the young woman you are to wed, said Edgar. Wife?
Oliver gripped his sword, annoyed by the news.
Everyone knows you are not married, Edgar. The Baroness spoke nothing of you being her daughter's husband, and I know you would never marry Kate.
Oliver knew Edgar well enough, as they used to be friends, but they grew apart as they got older.
I am married to the Baron's other daughter, Alisandra.
Edgar showed his finger with the wired ring.
The Baron's masked daughter?
Oliver was shocked to hear this. No one in their right mind would marry the girl with so many rumors surrounding her. Then again, he never thought of Edgar as a sane person.
Did you marry her only to justify killing her father? I can still have you thrown in a cell for killing a baron and have the marriage annulled. Alfred, bring me the papers on my desk labeled Desmond Barrett. They will contain enough evidence for you to get the hell off my property. As an old friend, it's a shame you have not said congratulations.
Edgar feigned sadness.
I will only congratulate my friends, and not a tyrant duke.
Oliver was suspicious of Edgar suddenly being married to Alessandra, when the Baron was now dead. Edgar was never the type to care about relationships, and to one day just be married out of the blue? Edgar was not meant to end up with anyone.
How long are you going to be angry with me when you are the one slowly distancing yourself from me?
Edgar asked, as he could no longer deal with Oliver meddling in his affairs. Somehow, Oliver could not seem to realize his actions of constantly trying to have Edgar thrown in a cell. Oliver, for some reason, disliked the additional power the king gave to Edgar and looked to find a flaw in every job he did. Oliver was the one to end the friendship, so why was he so invested in meddling in Edgar's business? Edgar had long let go of their friendship after Oliver started to distance himself in the past. Don't flatter yourself, Edgar. In case you have forgotten, I am the captain. I oversee matters on this side of the town.
Wrong. You force yourself to be involved in anything with my name attached. I have eyes and ears all around the kingdom, Oliver. Since we used to be friends, I have tolerated your ways, but I cannot any longer. You can question me about the death of the Baron as it is your job, but do not allow whatever ill feelings you have towards me to make you forget what kind of man the Baron was.
Edgar had been in this position where Oliver would question every single move he made, even if Oliver knew Edgar's actions were justified.
Young master,
Alfred returned with a stack of papers and handed it off to Oliver.
Go through it well and see the crimes Desmond has piled up. You might hate me, but you know I never kill without reason. A good host would show you out, but I have no intention of watching you and your men leave. I have a wedding night to enjoy. Alfred, see to it that all the town guards leave and anyone loitering around is killed, said Edgar.
You just said you never kill without reason, and yet you just ordered my men to be killed, Oliver replied, releasing his grip on his sword to get rid of the temptation to point it at Edgar. You got what you came for, which is a valid reason for me killing the Baron. I have every right to kill anyone still loitering around on my estate. I am the Duke of this land, Oliver. I can kill trespassers on my land. Time is ticking for you to be gone. Be gone by the time I count to 10. 1. Edgar began to count. The night was too wonderful after killing Desmond for Edgar to spend precious time talking to Oliver. To rid Edgar of his cockiness, Oliver unsheathed his sword and pointed it at Edgar's face. I hate men like you who abuse your power. And I hate ignorance, Edgar replied, unfazed by the sword inches away from his face. He knew just as well as Oliver that his blood would not be spilled in his own home. Put away that sword before you hurt yourself, Oliver. You walk around like you are the king, but we'll be watching and waiting for you to mess up. Get an actual hobby to occupy your time, Edgar recommended. Even if what you have in the papers were enough to kill the Baron, you must speak with his wife. The Baroness wants to have a word with you. After watching her husband be slain by your sword, she deserves an explanation considering you are walking away free. Good night. Oliver retreated his sword. He took the stacks of paper from Alfred and then proceeded to leave as the other guards were waiting on the outside. What happened between the two of you? You two used to be such good friends. I had high hopes you two would still be friends after you changed from boys to men, Alfred said with a hint of sadness in his voice. Of all the young men Edgar became acquainted with, Oliver was one of the few he viewed as Edgar's friend. I cannot answer that, as Oliver was the one to end our friendship without any explanation. Now he goes around running whenever he hears my name as he looks to throw me in jail. Another pain in the ass I must deal with. Send a bottle of alcohol to the empty bedroom on the second floor to the left of the stairs, said Edgar. Are you truly going to spend your wedding night in separate rooms? Your bedroom has been set up for the both of you, just like you requested. Even if he wasn't the best father, he still was her father, and the Duchess will need to be comforted. Do not share separate rooms tonight, Alfred advised Edgar. He imagined the emotions Alisandre was going through now that she was alone in her room. I am not the best when it comes to comforting someone. I will check on her for a moment, but we will not share a room tonight. Do not ask me about it again. Edgar knew what Alfred was trying to do, but they both agreed to no feelings. It was better that way. What was the point of getting married to her then? You could have helped her without getting married to her. You were so adamant about not getting married and wanting to be alone. Can you honestly say there are no feelings involved? Asked Alfred. There are no feelings involved, Alfred. I barely know Alessandra. Enough to marry her, Alfred interjected. What is your reason behind this? She simply amuses me. My family is constantly on my ass to get married and have a child. Out of all the women I have come across, none have amused me as Alessandra has. She wanted freedom, and I wanted the marriage offers to stop. We both got what we wanted, and we are fine. Stop expecting something more and prepare for tomorrow. The news of my marriage will spread like wildfire. Yes, young master. Alfred once again gave up. He didn't know how he would handle two young adults who would eventually bottle up any feelings they had because of the contract. They already agreed to be married forever. Why not just toss the contract out the window if they are getting along so well? Alfred wondered. Young people these days and their relationships. Meanwhile, as Edgar walked up the stairs to go to the second floor, he decided to not check up on Alessandra. He already asked her what she was feeling, and she was not in need of being comforted based on what he saw. Edgar was not going to force Alessandra into talking about her father's death. Alfred thought Alessandra would be crying alone in her room, but quite frankly, Edgar believed she didn't care about her father's death. She was the one to give her permission for him to be killed. His bathroom is huge, Alessandra commented as she looked around Edgar's bathroom while she sat in a tub of water. I could fit 3 of my bathrooms inside of here. Did one person truly need so much space? Edgar's wealth had no bounds, as even his bathroom was enough to make anyone jealous. Though Edgar had wealth, it didn't seem like he was the type to flaunt it. From the many times she eavesdropped on the guests speaking at the parties her father threw from time to time, all anyone ever did was talk about the expensive things they bought, from houses all the way down to rings. Alessandra always thought these people spoke looking for validation. They wanted to show they belonged in high society and bought ridiculous things to show off their wealth. I would rather have the money saved instead of wearing something just for others to comment on it, she said. I won't fit in, Alessandra mumbled. It wasn't just the mask and the rumors that wouldn't make her blend in with Edgar's peers. It was her personality and what she viewed as important in life that would make her different. She didn't grow up caring about appearances and wealth. She only wanted to have fun. Ow! Alessandra yelled as something pricked her skin. Looking for the cause of it, she realized the wired ring was still on her finger. Is there something wrong with me if I prefer this to a diamond ring? It suits me more, she said, carefully twirling the ring around her finger. She was not going to get rid of the ring Edgar created for their wedding. It would serve as a memory of what happened on this very night when she became a Duchess. Alessandra's eyes slowly opened as the faint sound of someone's voice could be heard in the distance. Why is someone here so early? She muttered, drifting back to sleep. My lady? Yes, Alessandra replied, opening her eyes once again at the sound of someone's voice. They don't normally come so early. Where? She paused as the unfamiliar sight of furniture greeted her. Alessandra sat up to look around the room she was in. Oh. Her memory of last night suddenly came back to her. I am at the Duke's home. My new home. My lady? Right. Give me one moment, Alessandra said to the person at the door. She had to crawl to the edge of Edgar's massive bed. It was another thing she did not understand why one person would need. An entire family could sleep on the bed and still have space. Does Edgar sleep in some kind of weird position for him to need so much space? She wondered. After a small workout to get off the bed, Alessandra rushed to the door to open it for whoever had paid her a visit, but stopped before she could touch the door handle as she remembered her veil.
Alisandre made a quick run back to the bathroom where she had taken off the veil and then returned to open the door.
My lady,
A young girl said. As she took in Alessandre's appearance, her cheeks started to turn red and her eyes avoided Alessandra. Confused, Alessandra looked down at her attire, and only now did she realize she had gone to sleep in one of Edgar's shirts, as she had no clothes here. The young girl must have misunderstood it, but Alessandra was not going to correct her. It wasn't wrong for anyone to think she and Edgar slept together on their wedding night. Still, Alessandra couldn't help pulling the shirt to hide her legs and exposed where the buttons had come undone as she slept. She had never been dressed this way in front of anyone before. "Is there a reason you are calling for me?" Alessandra asked in an attempt to switch the conversation to something else.
yes, the Duke tasked me with getting you ready for breakfast. He has also sent these for you.
The young maid pushed a basket towards Alessandra. Alessandra first laid eyes on a blue mask. It was elegant, with a design of swirls and small crystals encrusted around the edges. Along with the mask was a blue dress to match. It was obvious the Duke had spent a good amount of money on the two.
There is also matching jewelry and shoes underneath. After breakfast, the dressmaker will come with dresses for you to pick out. The Duke has a craftsman at hand to create masks to match the dresses you like. Can I come inside to start your bath, Duchess?
What? Alessandra asked, as she was focusing more on the gifts Edgar sent than what the girl was saying. "Oh, come inside. What is your name? I should have asked you first."
It is Jennifer, Duchess. I have worked for the Duke for a year now. I am happy to be serving you.
Jennifer bowed, showing respect to the new Duchess. "I hope we can get along." Alessandra smiled. As Jennifer stepped inside, she noticed that the young brunette girl must be around her age, or perhaps just a little bit older. Their closeness should hopefully allow them to get along well. Another thing Alessandra noted was Jennifer's lack of reaction to her presence. She had a feeling Edgar had an early morning talk with his workers. Alessandra closed the bedroom door, then took the basket to a table for after she would be finished with her bath. While Jennifer had gone to the bathroom to start filling the tub with warm water, Alessandra took off the veil to replace it with the new mask. The mask Edgar sent was more luxurious than she needed it to be, but she wasn't going to turn it down. Her life was no longer going to be simple. Therefore, she needed to get used to these kinds of things. She needed to act and dress like a duchess.
Duchess, the water has started to fill the tub and the soaps have been dropped into the water. Do you need my help to get undressed?
Jennifer asked as soon as she exited the bathroom. "No, it is only a shirt I have on," Alessandra replied, as she was more than capable of getting undressed on her own. She'd done it for many years.
I will make up the bed while you get undressed and sit in the tub. If you need anything, please call me right away,
said Jennifer. She kept a pleasant smile on her face until the moment Alessandra passed by her and went into the bathroom. With Alessandra out of sight, she frowned.
Why did the Duke marry such a woman?
Jennifer could not believe the rumors passing around the other servants about Edgar bringing home a wife last night. It was only when Edgar gathered the entire servant staff early in the morning and confirmed his marriage that she believed it. However, when Edgar said the name of his wife, Jennifer thought he was pranking his servants. If not for the Duke giving them a warning not to harm his wife and bring any lies about her into his home, Jennifer would not have been so kind to Alessandra when they first met.
Why isn't the Duke concerned about being cursed?
Jennifer thought.
A A man with the status Edgar has should not be married to a woman like this. But check.
Jennifer hurried to search the bedsheets for signs of their wedding night.
There's no blood,
she gasped, realizing Alisandre was not a virgin on their wedding night.
She must have been seeing other men before getting with the Duke. That witch! She must have placed a spell over the Duke. I must inform his mother of this,
Jennifer concluded. She was not going to allow Alisandre to ruin the Duke's reputation. If they stood by and did nothing, the Duke would soon die at the hands of Alisandre.
I hope Edgar has not seen her awful face. I have chills just from looking at it.
She shivered. Jennifer, how do you turn off the water before it flows over? Alisandre asked from inside the bathroom. Jennifer rolled her eyes, finding Alisandre to be annoying. But, of course, someone like Alisandre wouldn't know how to work the advanced things Edgar had throughout his home. The Baron's house could not compare.
I am coming, Duchess.
Jennifer forced her sweetest smile before going to the bathroom.
It is right here.
She turned off the pipe from behind the tub. Thank you. The tub I have back at home was not like this. The handle to stop the water sat right above the tub.
You'll get used to the Duke's home soon. Shall I brush your hair?
Jennifer asked, only to use it as an opportunity to take her anger out on Alisandre. She disliked how Alisandre looked when she opened the door wearing nothing but Edgar's shirt. Did she want to show off that she slept with the Duke?
I can use the Duke's brush,
she spoke sweetly. Yes, please. I fell last night and there might be a few pieces of grass or twigs in my hair. I tried to get them out, but ow! Alisandre winced the moment Jennifer brushed her hair.
Sorry, Duchess. Please forgive me. There is a knot in your hair. I should have noticed it.
Jennifer quickly apologized. She grinned, taking pleasure in Alisandre's pain. It's okay, Alisandre replied. She took it as a mistake, but when it happened a second time, Alisandre knew she would not be getting along with Jennifer. Ow! That is enough! Alisandre could no longer take the pain of Jennifer purposely trying to make her bald. She searched her own hair last night and did not come across any of these so-called knots Jennifer was referring to. Have I upset you in some sort of way? She had to ask. Alisandre wanted to know whether it was the rumors of her being cursed or something else that she unknowingly did to upset Jennifer.
No, you have not, Duchess.
Jennifer set the brush to the side. It contained numerous strands she yanked out of Alessandre's hair. It was enough to calm her anger for now.
I apologize if I was a little rough. This is how I normally brush Edgar's hair,
she lied. Edgar? Alisandre picked up on Jennifer referring to the Duke by his first name and not his title. She must have a good relationship with him to refer to him like this, or Jennifer was simply trying to toy with her. It was bold of anyone to act like this in front of the new Duchess. She's trying to torture me because she likes Edgar? This is child's play compared to the torture I have endured, Alisandre thought to herself. Anyone who wanted to toy with her would need to come harder. Jennifer did not make her feel jealous or weak. Their interaction only made her irritated, as this was officially her first day here. She had not been given a tour of the home, and already there was someone treating her this way. It was too early in the morning to be making an enemy.
Please do not tell.
Then do your job correctly, Alisandre interjected before Jennifer could continue with her act. She was well aware that if she remained mute and allowed Jennifer to do things to hurt her, it wouldn't be long before others joined in to do the same. I will have no choice but to let you go if you purposely yank on my hair. Jennifer was taken aback by Alessandra's words. It was not even a full day as Duchess, yet the woman spoke as if she owned the home. She was certain the rumor said Desmond Barrett was a shy young lady, but the person here spoke so boldly.
Pardon me, Duchess, but you're not in any position to fire me.
Alisandre looked over her shoulder to where Jennifer stood behind her. Now that this home has a Duchess, dealing with the servants will become my job. I don't care how you feel about me, but I suggest if you want to keep your job, you do it correctly when you're in my presence. Either you brush my hair properly, or you leave. Alessandra played with her fingers as she became anxious. She was taking a risk by threatening to fire a servant who most likely could have a good relationship with Edgar. Would he back her up on this or shame her in front of his servants? Although Edgar was helpful when it came to her family problems, Jennifer was one of his servants, and Alessandra had no clue how he would react to her firing the people he knew well. However, she was not going to show Jennifer this fear.
I apologize, Duchess.
Jennifer looked away, hiding the shame she felt for having to apologize to Alessandra. It was an insult to have to apologize to someone who needed to hide their awful face. You can leave. Alessandra dismissed her in the end. She was not in the mood for Jennifer to brush her hair at all. The few times her hair was yanked on was enough to make it sore. If Alessandra was a petty person, she would make Jennifer have to sit and her hair be yanked out. Luckily for Jennifer, Alessandra was not going to stoop to that level. Without a word, Jennifer left the bathroom, leaving Alessandra alone. Alessandra would regret this, as help was needed to put on the dress Edgar sent.
This is better. I hope she cannot get the dress on.
She smiled. Why can't everyone just be nice? Alessandra muttered. She knew she had to deal with women who sought after Edgar's affection, but she did not expect to be attacked by one of his servants. Is she a woman he has slept with, or one who wishes she would share his bed? Alessandra hoped it was the latter. Alessandra did not care about Edgar having a mistress, but she would prefer it if it was not someone she had to see every day. The conflict would be unnecessary. By the way she acted, it might have been a crush. I shouldn't have such an opinion of Edgar to think he would send a woman he slept with to serve me. If Edgar does not know about her feelings, who is making her so confident to act this way towards the new Duchess? Alessandra wondered. It wouldn't be too long before the person Jennifer worked for would show themselves. Inevitably, it was best they fire Jennifer. They did not need a spy watching their every movement and then reporting it back to someone else. They were welcoming the chance of their relationship being exposed by keeping such a person around. I'll bring it up at breakfast. Alessandra sank deep into the tub, enjoying the warmth of the water and the fresh scent of the soap. Compared to last night, she felt more relaxed. A new day brought on new beginnings. There was no need to worry about her father, Katrina, and Kate. Alessandra hoped to never have to hear of them nor see them ever again.
Alessandra?
Edgar's voice came from outside of the bathroom. Edgar! She perked up, causing water to splash over the edge.
Are you not an early bird? If you were still tired, you could have sent the maid away with the message. Remember, you have the power to do as you please, except for killing someone. You mustn't get your hands dirty. As I recall, someone was supposed to help you this morning, said Edgar. Edgar spotted the basket he sent, but there was no one here waiting to aid Alessandra when she was done with her bath. Two maids walked past him as he was coming to their bedroom. He wondered if they were the ones meant to be helping Alessandra.
How do you know there is no one inside with me? Alessandra wondered if he could see right through the walls.
It is too quiet. Can I come in, or are you the shy type?
Edgar asked before he made a move. He would rather not scare her so early in the day. Not yet, at least. You can come in. The soap has created bubbles, and you will be unable to see anything. Alessandra piled up more bubbles by her chest and legs as quickly as she could before Edgar entered the bathroom.
What a sight. I am almost tempted to take off my clothes and get inside with you.
That's too much. Alessandra blushed. She barely had enough courage to sit naked in the tub with Edgar here. She would pass out if he were to sit in it naked along with her. Why was he here anyway, and why did he want to see her inside the bathroom?
I was only teasing you, Alessandra. You make it too easy, he chuckled.
Is there something you need from me, Edgar? Aside from getting a reaction out of me from your teasing? Why did you want to come inside the bathroom? Alessandra knew there had to be a reason why he was here. Unless he was only here to tease her? If so, was Edgar truly a bored person?
I wanted to confirm that there is no one here. Did they leave as soon as they brought the basket? They were supposed to help you get dressed.
Edgar gave clear instructions earlier while Alessandra was asleep, and hated to think his servants were going to ignore his order and mistreat his wife. I met a girl who looks around my age named Jennifer. I think she has a crush on you, Edgar. She tried to brush out all my hair. Alessandra placed her hand on the sore spots.
I see.
Edgar picked up his brush, which was now full of hair.
What does she look like?
Do you have no idea who I'm talking about? Alessandra found this to be surprising. Jennifer casually called his name as if they had spoken before.
If I did, I wouldn't have asked you to describe her. It appears she pulled out quite a lot of your hair. Silly thing. Is this her way of asking to be punished? She only needed to come to me.
Edgar smiled, placing the brush back down. They'll be in need of a new female servant today. I will take care of it myself. I'm sure there are many others who are protective of you. I must use Jennifer as an example to warn them. Please leave it to me, Alessandra begged. This was not a battle Edgar needed to concern himself with.
Do as you wish.
Thank you. From the way she acted, I assumed the possibility of her being your mistress. Edgar's faint laughter interrupted Alessandra.
You wound me by thinking I would be foolish enough to send a woman I was betting to tend to my wife. I am smarter than that, Alessandra. Luckily, there is nothing you need to fear. I have never slept with anyone who worked for me. I do not like to mix business and pleasure.
I see. I am sorry for having such a thought. I would prefer if your mistresses had no association with this house. It would make my life much easier, Alessandra said.
Your life will be easy due to the fact that I will have no mistress. Enlighten me, Alessandra. What type of man do you take me for? Is there some sort of rumor going around that I am betting countless women? How awful of them to make me out to be such a man when I am nothing more than a saint.
Had this been anyone else, Alessandra might have believed their words. However, whenever Edgar spoke, she picked up on his sarcasm and refused to accept his words. Are you a virgin? She bluntly asked the question. Edgar touched the top two buttons on his shirt and turned away from Alessandra's sight.
That is such an intruding question, Alessandra. Why do you want to know? Do you wish to ravish me?
Alessandra stared at Edgar with a lack of reaction to his words. You are the one to say you are a saint. Wouldn't a saint be a virgin? You don't have to be ashamed. I am also a virgin.
I have to apologize for not saving myself for marriage. I am not a virgin, but I am also not a man whore. I can control myself, and unlike what rumors you've heard, I have not bedded many women. Keep in mind that any woman who approaches you and hints at it is a liar. Let's avoid that drama before it can even start.
Edgar replied, as he knew women would try to say they shared a bed in order to mess with Alessandra. Honestly, if I were to meet anyone you have slept with, I wouldn't care. Anyone who tells me you have slept with them is only trying to get a rise out of me. And I won't give them that satisfaction. Right. Do you have any idea what could be making Jennifer so bold? To harshly comb a duchess's hair means there's someone behind her. The maids back at the Barrett household would sometimes mistreat her because they had Kate behind them to help rescue them if the butler were to find out. Edgar had not mentioned anyone else living with him, which meant it must be a relative living close by.
It is probably my mother. She plants a few of her spies here and there to keep an eye on me. It appears I missed one. That was Alfred's mistake. How should I break this to the perfectionist?
Edgar grinned. Alfred would have a panic attack if he knew he missed getting rid of one of his mother's spies. Why is it Alfred's mistake and not your mistake? Alisandre accidentally asked out loud.
Alfred is the one to deal with the servants. I passed him the basket and told him to send someone to serve you. Anyone working for my mother should not have been still working for me. It is not hard to recognize who is her spy, as they are always following me around. Alfred should have picked up on this and fired her. I like to keep my mother business.
What is your mother like? Alessandra had never heard anything about Edgar's mother. She didn't even know her name.
Dramatic. I have to be rude and step out for an errand. Therefore, I cannot attend breakfast with you, but Alfred will be here to help. There are more gifts waiting for you downstairs. What you don't like, set aside, and I will send for something else,
said Edgar. Thank you. I'm sorry, I don't have anything to offer you. Alessandra once again felt saddened by not having anything to give to Edgar. She was the only one receiving something.
If you stand right now, that would be a gift,
Edgar cheekily replied. Can you please leave and never refer to yourself as a saint? Alessandra covered her face with her hands to hide her cheeks turning red from embarrassment. She contemplated getting a mask that entirely covered her face so she wouldn't satisfy Edgar's teasing.
If you were to ask me to stand naked before you, I would have no problem doing so. You are the shy type, Alessandra. I came by to say I will be going to collect your things and speak to the Baroness about her late husband. Is there anything specific you desperately need to come along with you? Edgar asked.
No. Everything is in my bedroom, but there is no guarantee either Katrina or Kate did not destroy them because of my father's death. Whatever is there, you can bring. Oh, there is a girl I chose to be my personal maid. Can you bring her along, or is that too much? She asked, due to the fact Edgar would be the one paying for Sally's services.
Seeing as we are about to fire someone, it is not a problem. But I first need to inspect the type of person this maid is before I allow her into my home. I am off to visit Hal.
Edgar bid goodbye. I hope he doesn't kill Katrina or Kate, Alessandra softly muttered. She contemplated going with Edgar to make sure no one would be harmed, but then decided against it. The goal was to never step foot in that house again, and she planned to stick to it. Katrina, Kate, and Edgar were grown enough to be able to speak calmly.